Heidi ho, first graders. It is day 5 of art, and we just finished hearing a story about a very silly tortoise and a hare. Now, the tortoise was pretty silly, thinking he could beat a rabbit, a very fast hare, in a race. But he had something called determination. He never stopped going. The rabbit was so sure of himself, he thought, I got this easy. And he laid down to take a nap. But the tortoise, slow and steady, kept pushing forward and eventually won that race. Can you think about a time when you were doing something that might have been challenging? I've done some challenging things in my life that I was not fantastic at the first time I did them. One of those things that comes to mind is swimming. The first time I got into a pool, I was a little nervous, but I slowly learned to dog paddle and put my face in the water and blow bubbles. And each time I got in there, I did better until I was able to do the strokes. And now I'm a pretty decent swimmer. So think about a time when you weren't so great at something, but you kept going. You kept going. You kept going, and eventually you finished and did a fantastic job. Working back to our last lesson, oops, that sounded kind of weird when I said it, but thinking back to our last lesson, we read the story, The Foolish Tortoise, and we each made our own tortoise. I would like you right now to pause the video and get that tortoise that we started and that you traced over using a black marker. Today you will need this piece of paper, a black marker, and also there is a link at the bottom of the materials page for a file giving you fun and creative ideas that you can use in this project to create line designs and patterns. So if you want to look at that for some ideas, you can open it up or print it out, either way. So pause. Wow, there's a lot of oopses going on right here right now. Pause the video and go get your supplies. Welcome back. You are going to have this sheet ready that you created the other day and your black marker. Today we are starting with that same tortoise that we were working on the other day. And in each section of our tortoise's shell, we are going to create a line design. So some ideas could be horizontal lines. So maybe in this square, I will just put, using my black marker, horizontal lines. And maybe in another section, I will do some vertical lines. I can also choose an area to do my zigzag lines. Or some diagonal lines, some wavy lines. So each section, I'm choosing another line pattern. Here I'm going to do some curly. Now, I just heard somebody ask, could I create my own line design? The answer is yes. Maybe you've come up with a creative new way to make lines, and that's okay. Maybe you can make a line using other shapes. This line I'm creating is made out of circles. You can create your own new line. That was a great question. Thanks for asking. What I hear another question. Somebody asked me, could I put two different kinds of lines in the same section? My answer is yes. Maybe you want to have some vertical lines and horizontal lines, which creates that kind of crosshatch we were talking about. Or maybe you would like to have some zigzag lines with some dashed lines in between. You can create your own line designs by mixing different types of lines together or using two different lines or just coming up with your own fantastic idea. That's what's so fantastic about creating line designs. There are endless possibilities. You are going to keep doing this until you've filled up every section on your tortoise's shell. Now, if you're done in 30 seconds, you might have gone a little too fast. We want to slow down and think and work on our craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is a fancy word for taking our time and working neatly and doing our best work. We want to do that in everything we do. We want to take pride in our work and always put forth our best craftsmanship. Here's an example of what mine looks like so far after I created a line design in each of the shells section. After you've done this, stop what you're doing. Put your marker away and put this to the side, and we will complete it during our next lesson. So, again, after you finish this part, stop and put it to the side until our next lesson. And remember, lines, lines. Think about all those kinds of lines we've learned about today. And check for an exit question today about our story, The Tortoise and the Hare. See you next time, first graders.